You and the other panelists just shared best practices around diversity, work-life balance, training and development, succession planning, and collaboration. Could you give us a couple of your best practices around diversity, for example?
Well, I think the most important thing is having a really robust pipeline. And so when you're looking for lawyers, what we tend to do is try to work through a lot of the diversity organizations, the diversity bar associations, make sure that when we find recruiters, that we use recruiters that have a diverse base. Once you get a diverse pipeline, it's pretty easy to find the talents in that pipeline. So that's our primary way of doing it.
That's great. Training and development is also another big issue, especially at events like this. How do you go about training and developing your senior lawyers as well as your lower level lawyers?
One thing we've been focused on recently is really leadership development, because our lawyers can go out, they can get all the CLE classes that they want to take, but what they really don't know and what they really don't learn in school is how to be a leader. And so we brought in some organizations that actually do leadership development classes for our attorneys. We've even done it for our paralegals and our administrative staff, because we think it's really important to be able to lead within an organization.
You also talked about collaboration and how legal departments can collaborate well amongst each other and with the business people. What are some of your best practices when it comes to collaboration?
One of the things that we like to do is to have a seat at the table. So we really encourage all of our lawyers to attend all the strategic planning meetings and to, do events with their clients so that they're able to really develop a personal relationship with them, and then they'll get the call when things start early on. But in terms of collaboration within the department, we really promote it. We try and do things that encourage attorneys to work effectively together. So we have a program that we call job sharing. And it's attorneys who want to learn something else outside of their functional area. So that we have a wonderful benefit at McDonald's called a sabbatical, and people take off for 8 weeks. And we actually get people to volunteer to fill in for other people's jobs, so that if you want to know more about franchising, you can volunteer to work in the franchising department. If you want to know more about litigation, you volunteer to work there. Makes you a better rounded lawyer.
That sounds like a great program. So generally speaking, what are you prioritizing right now in today's business climate as the general counsel of a major corporation?
Right now, clearly the efforts around globalization are really huge. We operate in 120 countries around the world. You've probably been reading about it in the newspapers. And so I find that I'm on those 2 a.m. calls and on the 5 p.m. calls. And so really trying to collaborate across borders within our department is really something that we're getting to be rather good at. Not that we were bad at it before, but we're doing more and more of it. And learning, who to reach out for in order to get the answers that you need in the time that you need it. That's really something that's very important in this 24/7 world we live in.
That's great. It's an issue for a lot of companies today. And finally, the summit overall, what has been your biggest takeaways since you've been here?
It is just great to be in a room with all of these really talented women, and I learn something every time I come here. So the panel on Trusted Advisor was fabulous. Even though I'd like to think I'm a trusted advisor, I think that really bringing a lot of those things out within the panel was very helpful for me.
Great. Again, that was Gloria Santona of McDonald's Corporation. Gloria, thank you.
Thank you.